Back on Styx. Here we are once again. Last match here. I usually don't do the same map twice in a row, but the last match here was really weird and really good. So I figured I'd host another map and either hope for a really weird match or a more normal match. Either one is a win, I think, on this map. So if you saw that other video, you would know that it's a dark map. There are rocks on it. There are 5 points. And... oh, excuse me, I had to sneeze. And that's kind of the end of it. Team 1 ANS, Team 2 OSP. Looks like we're dropping down with a Solomon. A gun Solomon, oh boy. Hell yeah. Can't wait. It looks like he's got more cannons, not point defense, on his sides. What the hell is this? Oh no. I hope for this guy's sake, the OSP team doesn't have any missiles, because that's just guns. There are 4 roars on here. That is not enough to defend against really anything meaningful. This would be pretty good against just like a couple hybrids, which the OSP doesn't have access to. So, Skull Squad, we will be watching you with great interest. Got a little E-War Reigns for support. That's good. You're really going to need it. Oh, baby. Random nobody, probably a couple of missile voxels. Guns and missiles. With a support voxel? Missiles and guns. Okay, yeah, so this one has more guns, and then this one has more, a little more missiles, but also more, like the, you know, a little bit more on the PD front. Both of these fleets, though, are extremely light on the PD. A lot of missiles, a lot of hybrid 2s. Could be really strong against all these frigates. That's a lot of small ships, and it looks like they're bringing missiles to the party, which could spell absolute disaster for these larger ships, especially these shuttles right here. If they can get in range and get missiles off on this guy or on that guy, they could absolutely annihilate them. Of course, that's the real trick with the shuttles, isn't it? Getting in range. We have a more standard Axford over here. Got guns, got point defense, a lot of Auroras. Surprised at all the Auroras. It was I believed that most of the Nebulous community thought Auroras were crap because they couldn't handle containers, but they do have a place. Glad to see more people using them. Wow, that is one hell of a bare bones voxel. Few guns, torpedo slash a hybrid launcher. Yeah, hybrids, unsurprisingly. And that's gonna, and then support Reigns, presumably. Anti-missile Reigns. Okay. AMMs and Sarissas. This is a really odd fleet. I like it. It's definitely not a typical fleet. This, however, is just a pack of fighting voxels. Some have, wow, also really low on the point defense. I'm astounded. This whole team is just really scrimping on the point defense. Looks like this ship's already been locked up. What's going on over here? I see. These guys see it. Which is going to be a big problem because all these roll-offs with Type 200s in them are going to destroy these ships that don't have any point defense to defend against that. Don't shoot your guns, launch your missiles. We'll see what happens in a little bit. Okay, we got a little rocket battalion here, and they have grazers too, so they'll be able to handle a few missiles. Not much though. And a scout monitor. Oh, a heavy-duty missile monitor. That's very dangerous for this ANS team. Look, oh man. This is some pre-written stuff right here. This is yeah, where a whole bunch of a fleet with each other's counters are fighting each other. One team has very little in the way of anti-missile systems. Yeah, those AMMs are going to get it. They're not going to do enough. Because AMMs need to be firing out of the ship that missiles are coming at for them to be able to intercept effectively, and this voxel is just dead before doing hardly anything. I mean, they got off a few missiles, traded 1 tug for 1 voxel. I'd say that's a win. And especially with those missiles going in there, might be command guided, and without the ship functioning, it's down. Alright, let's continue looking at this fleet. Oh man, I didn't drink any water in between this video and the last one. I'm gonna need to do that. We've got T-30s. Could be very dangerous. Didn't look like it had any plasma on the other one. Nope, just guns. So we've got a fly swatter and a heavy gunner. Unfortunately, the fly swatter isn't going to be able to do very much because there's not really that much on the ANS team that is small. Yeah, one voxel traded straight out for one tug. That's a huge win for the OSP team. All right, Zenek, what are you bringing to the party? Here we go, here we go. Some plasma, a lot of T-30s. It's not enough plasma, though, unless this guy is covered in plasma. He's not. And neither is this guy. This is a scout with some defense guns and a rocket launcher, missile launcher. And then some gunships. But, oh, man, the OSP team is unfortunately extremely undergunned for what they're fighting. They're going to have to rely on these missile ships. Which, I mean, it's fine. They still have a lot of missiles with them. Rockets, a lot of rocket ships. It's going to be guns versus missiles, and the ANS are going to be shooting guns. OSP is going to be shooting missiles. And the OSP team's not really fit to handle guns, and the ANS team's not really fit to handle missiles. They're perfect counters for each other. I don't know which way this game's going to go. Tana Agua Fria is getting an absolutely withering barrage of T-30 fire at it. Unfortunately, as previously stated, T-30s aren't really strong enough. They do 100 mil, and that's not strong enough. Here we have more AMMs going at things that are not targeted at the vessel that the AMMs are coming out of, which means they won't be landing. Absolutely colossal waste of AMMs. One lands, and that might have actually saved this because the grazers are able to kill the others. Ooh, good thing that's not hitting a ship. Although, yeah, more hybrids coming in. Whole barrage coming out of the last responder. A few Sarissas, but it's not gonna be enough. This thing is going to be taking hits. These voxels have been hit by at least 2 volleys of T-30 fire, but with no plasma softening them up, those 100 mil rounds are just gonna bounce right off, leaving the Captain Spacebeard out here with its butt hanging out, pretty much. It's taking missile fire from the hybrid voxel. It's going to take another hit, and it's taking gunfire. Oh, nice, gunfire from these gun voxels, and it's in big trouble. So this side is probably going to go to the ANS just because the OSP doesn't have the raw firepower in those T-30s without anywhere near enough plasma to make them viable. There was some plasma being fired at the Solomon we saw earlier. It's hard to tell if it's been hit successfully though, but especially with the plasma changes, one plasma isn't going to do anywhere near enough. You're gonna need a lot of plasma. Oh man, and a lot of missiles. Fortunately, the missile players are bringing a lot of missiles. Unfortunately, they're also getting shot for their treason. Those poor OSP ruffians. A lot of damage into this Axford just with that one volley. Question is, how many missiles? Okay, none. But there's still 2 missile ships. Just might be enough. This team, I don't think this is enough to get through this. Because even though they don't have that much PD, they do have some. That guy doesn't though. Jeez. Unhinged. But, yeah, there's no way these get through. Am I on drugs? Are they going to get through just fine? Are the defenders going to miss absolutely everything? No. Whew, man, those got close, though. Oh, nice. Good names. The Arizona Ranger with a big iron on his roof. And, Son of Agua Fria. Oh, that's what that's from. Okay. Very nice. Very clever. I think this line ship is in trouble. Yeah. I think you're in trouble a little bit. Big guy. OSP being pushed back a little bit on this front. No one able to cap Echo. Okay, OSP team didn't capture Bravo, which is their natural point, so they're hard trolling. This is probably not going to be a points game. This is going to be a military match. Because for some reason nobody wanted to capture their natural free point. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know who do that or why they do that. Yeah, this thing's pretty much dead. This one's firing, but it's firing. I mean, it's firing 450s at the Solomon, which, oh man, I don't really. They're not doing that much. I mean, they're adding, but the Solomon has significantly. It's because it is not 450, it's 250s. Are there 65 250s? Well, yeah, obviously they are. I thought this thing had 450s on it. Oh yeah, getting down, you can see it's the triple barrel 250s. 250s aren't gonna do squat to the Solomon. I was wondering why I wasn't really taking any meaningful damage. That's why. The armor is going to just straight block it. Now what is going to take damage is this ship and rockets. Fortunately, some of those rockets are missing, but that is a lot of damage onto this thing. Whole front half of the ship knocked out. Still in the fight though, because that reinforced CIC in the middle keeps on kicking. Zenith taps out. Line ship, the T-30s, yeah, and the 250. I mean, this could have kept fighting, but he's just gonna leave because he knows he's pretty much dead. Unfortunate.
The enemy is securing zone eclipse.
Yeah, this is what was the 250s. Or was it? This took way more damage than I thought it did. I got this one and this one confused because I'm a silly Billy. But with that ship being down, all these ships being grayed out, this is the only one left to be shot at. Even though nose towards enemy is exactly what you want to be doing in these Ocellos. Look at all those deflections. Look at him. He's still taking a lot of damage, getting fired at from 3 fleets. That's no, 2 fleets. These 3 voxels are 1 fleet, and then the Solomon's obviously its own fleet. Bow tanking in Ocello. It's doing pretty good. It's better than our usual ass towards opponent players, but it's not going to be good enough. That will go down eventually. Only a matter of time. And willingness to take other things down with it. Really should be firing at the voxels, not the Solomon with those 250s. I mean, the 250s aren't that good against the voxels, but they're a hell of a lot better than against the Solomon. Look at all those deflections. I can't get over it. So many. Oh, need it out of here. Alright, I think that probably sells the game. The ENS team pretty effectively. However, we are going to see a lot more destruction coming out of the OSP forces. This Axford brought to its knees. This voxel killed. It's dead. That's dead. It's a drive in a command center. And then we're spit. This support reigns completely annihilated by rocket spam. And this Axford very nearly annihilated. Somehow still in the fight. I don't know what's keeping this thing alive. Well, not much. Especially not with 2 reactor cook-offs happening at the same time. DC teams split up between them. They're going to be able to fix them fast enough, though. Man, that's terrifying. Already damaged voxel. Can't really take any of these shots, and it's going to have to. Yeah, and it can't. It's dead. This rocket team, the rocket missile combo on this Echo side flank has been doing an incredible amount of work. They lost some ships, but they took out so much more than their weight class. I think this one got roasted. Oh yeah, that's definitely roasted. We'll see what roasted tug looks like. You can't even tell in Styx. It's so dark. You can't see all the on everything. Oh well. Who picked this map? Okay. Yeah, that's the end of the Delta side flank. And with the OSP team not taking their natural for some reason, and also not taking... Okay, they have taken Echo. they will not be able to just race ahead of the ANS team on points. It would take forever for this group to get around here, especially with the changes to Raider Drive, which presumably these are running. Everybody puts Raiders in their boxes. Yeah. We'll still be able to get over here. Why am I yawning? I'm tired. It's middle of the afternoon. And yeah, not much else to say right now other than these guys are going that way and these guys are going that way. Doing a little rotate-a-roni here on these rocks. Unfortunately for both teams, these rocks don't provide as much cover as they look. It blocks a lot of view, but they're thin, they're small, and they're easy to fly between. And when you're in between some, you can usually, you know, see clear through to the other side of the map. View lines are quite long. Anyone gonna finish off this Axford? It looks like not. It's going to keep killing tugs. We have a tug desperately trying to get out of the combat zone. Looks like all the tugs have spent all their missiles. Rocket ships still have some left. I don't think it's enough, though. Especially if these are going to be getting shot at range while they're parked on Alpha, not capping. It's already capped. You can just leave. Get to cover, although they don't really have anywhere else to go. What are they going to do? Retreat over here into these ships? Firing some rockets. That's not going to be enough. Gotta volley fire that shit. Man. RPF is... How do I keep hitting spacebar? Is pretty strong. Pretty strong. Quite good against shuttles. Quite good. When you think about it, shuttles are just MIRVs at the end of the day. Barely more than missiles themselves. Just a missile that delivers other missiles. Oh man, huge volume coming out. That's gonna finish this off. Or maybe not? Oh, there's no way. 2 reactors quad critting. There's no way these get repaired before they explode. And even if they do, I mean, what's left on this ship? Everything's burning down. The DC teams are gonna have to be down here for forever repairing those. It's effectively dead. It's not dead, but I don't think it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be doing that much. All right, OSP team just about out of munitions. I don't, this guy hasn't fired anything. He's fired, oh, okay, you're the one who fired at the Axford. He's fired 1 volley at the Axford, and he's probably fired another volley at one of these other ships over here. Hasn't been that involved in the fight. These might be direct fire, which, no, he's got them named. Radar Squiggins, I don't know what Squiggins is. Presumably that's the direct fire. Okay, looks like these shuttles, or a couple of shuttles, gone back to Bravo to cap it, which should have been done at the very start of the game, but of course wasn't for some inexplicable reason. Overall, that's the ball game. OSP team just kind of needs to be cleaned up here. Which was happening there. All the gunships around Alpha are firing at the shuttles, killing them off. They're still maintaining cap, even though there's hardly even a ship here anymore on either of these. Which should probably be changed. I mean, if you're basically dead, what are you exerting capping pressure with? I don't don't know how you would attack that since there are so many different things you can do in this game. This guy taps out. He fixed his crits. I mean, they're still burning down and they're gonna die. Oh, the magazine's burning. Now we're down to the fun part of the game where everybody scrambles around for points. Two shuttles moving off of Bravo. Not sure if they're gonna be heading up towards Charlie, which is currently being capped, or if they're gonna be looping around towards Echo. This tug in the middle's taking a lot of fire. Let's watch him die.
The enemy secured zone common.
Trying desperately to stay alive. But steadily running out of engines, burning on flank. Steadily running out of everything. Brutal. It's actually pretty impressive how long this stood up. The fire. I appreciate how long time to kills are, even with hard counters like RPF into tugs. What's this going? I see. Oh man, this thing's in big trouble. This 450 is pretty damn good against monitors. That's exactly what the Solomon's firing at. It doesn't have the best track as we're seeing, but he does have a track. Burning in flank. Seeing engines cook off. Not a sun drive, so it's not going to get the bonus reduction to flank damage.
The enemy is securing zone boxer.
And his team's starting to gobble up all the points. OSP doesn't have anything to kick him off, really. This ship is the only thing with any guns on it. And they aren't guns, they're missiles. Which means it's pretty much time to call it. Although we will get the joy of seeing ships explode. This is the damage voxel. Good choice. This one's already damaged. Might as well send it on the suicide capping mission. Fortunately, I don't think it's going to be able to get the cap off. Oh, man. No. That's kind of basic CIC. What are you doing with that? Losing your ship real fast. That's what. No jamming going into this thing. Hang-ups and normal jams, so it's not going to be able to fire anything with any degree of accuracy. It's locked up. Gunfire coming in from every direction. Strong showing out of the OSP team, at least the two missile players, Lagros and Flincher. Very strong. Unfortunately, Zenek and Pico and Bacher just got utterly annihilated over here. They tried to brawl a Solomon and a Voxel brawling team, which is a really bad idea because that is the hard counter to the OSP. And we were talking about how these missiles were going to have to save the day. Unfortunately, they just didn't have enough munitions. As stated before here and in presumably many other places, point defense is not optional. You absolutely have to bring it, or this is you. All these dead ships over here that have just brought halfway decent point defense instead of crap point defense. They would all be alive and laughing at the OSP team right now. Yeah, Annis has a cap advantage. They don't have a point advantage, but I don't really want to sit through. I don't really want to sit through this. We're gonna try to get him to quit. Nice voxel exploding. It's just not enough. It's not enough munitions. It's been over for quite a while now. These shuttles eating up so much fire. How fast is the song going? 21? A flash. 2 whiplashes and a dragonfly to offset.
20 minutes remain.
And this.
The enemy is securing zone eclipse.
And the points are ostensibly there primarily to encourage combat. If you're just out of combat capacity. Guess he's not out. And the Solomon doesn't have that much point defense, but it's gonna be enough. Yeah, this thing doesn't have much else left that it can kill. And all that has to be done. This can just park on the point, and this can just park on that point, and one of these can come down here and park on this point, and it's over. Here goes one of them. Now we're waiting on Lagos. Game's been running fantastic, even on this map, which I thought would own my poor little PC. With all its gas effects and weird lighting and stuff. So I'm glad to see whatever issues I was having were very temporary, even if they were frustrating. Big thank you to everyone who watched those videos, even though there were technical problems out the wazoo. Glad y'all enjoyed anyways. I mean, I did, but it's easier for me since I'm the guy who's doing this thing. It feels... I don't know, it felt to me like more laggy when I was watching it afterwards than while I was actually controlling things. I want to see this AAR. Ooh, decoys! That's a great idea. Look at that damage. Oh, man. Fantastic damage into that Solomon. Of course, it's not going to be anywhere near enough, and you've expended almost all your munitions. Spikes, I don't think will be very useful on this, not at this angle.
The enemy is securing zone dagger.
Oh boy, here we go, waiting on points again. This guy coming over here, Cap Dagger. This guy's still getting exploded at Alpha. And then there's this guy. This is the part of the video where I opened up something extremely copyrighted on my other monitor and just start playing the audio through the desktop. So everyone gets to hear it and I get super ultra mega banned from YouTube forever.
The enemy is securing zone Atlas.
Thank you. Fucking
The enemy secured zone dagger.
Nice. Just a couple of explosions. One important one that roasted, I think that took actually, when it went off. Let's look at this fighting voxel team. Wow, that was not even a sentence with words in it. That was just noise. Fighting voxel team. Let's take a look. The Arizona Ranger with the big iron on his hip. It's a song I really enjoy. It's a song I really enjoy singing. Not gonna inflict that on y'all. Cause that would be rude. You're not here for my okay-ish, untrained singing. You're here for guns and death. Which I guess this is a song about guns and death. I'm getting off topic. Axford did well. Needs more PD. Bring PD. This number is doubled and you survive. Voxel, same thing. Didn't do that great. Could have done way more. Could have absolutely annihilated those tug teams, but he just got blown the hell up by missiles. Didn't even get to do that much with this little thing. Kind of a interesting Raider Wake. I'm not sure if there's a Wake Validator. I don't know. This guy, same problem. Got blown to the moon by missiles. You don't, AMMs are not enough. In fact, in general, AMMs you should be very careful with using. You need to use your prioritized point defense to use them properly, otherwise they'll all just be fired off at things they're never going to hit. And you lose your ships with them not really doing anything meaningful. Solomon, excellent work. Good job. You got lucky as hell on your low point defense that there wasn't a container ship. If there was one container ship on the OSP team, even though they didn't have that much of a front line, they had enough of a front line that they could have just wiped all these low PD ships from the word go, and we'd be having a very different conversation at the end, trying to tell the one guy with a reins, this guy whose reins is just somewhere floating around on the map, to give up instead of the OSP team. These tugs, this group of tugs, good job. Solid damage coming out of them, hitting above their weight class. Well, some of them hitting above and some of them hitting at. So overall, a win for the fleet. Direct command guided missiles, though. That's yeah, that's another sort of prey weapon where you just hope your opponent isn't using jammers, 'cause then you're screwed. Of course, the rocket team performing well. Could have done better. Wow. A lot of damage going on this. I think that's all into that Axford. It's got to be. Rocket team performing pretty well overall. The just like, I'm going to play the capping game was pretty lame. I understand doing that if it's really close and towards the end of the match. But, I'm going to have to sit on points for the next 20 minutes. Is no bueno, as they say. This doesn't work. By the way, this doesn't work. You need more plasma cannons to get much useful out of them. You also need you need to pick one of these. This player's trying to do too much with this ship, and it can't handle all of it, and so instead it's not really doing any of this, because he's trying to turn it into a brawler that can kind of fight medium to small ships, but it winds up not really having enough guns to swat away small ships, and it also doesn't have the firepower to fight larger ships, so it doesn't quite do any of it very well, which is unfortunate. 250s on Ocellos, I honestly, I don't think they have a place. They're really good against small ANS ships and wolf packs and shark blacks, but this is the only ship the OSP has that can fit 450 turrets, and I think it's worth using those. If you're gonna bring this hull anyways, you might as well bring really strong guns to back it up, especially with the strong armor. This thing has such strong armor that it's not as worried about small ships as some of the other OSP ships are, so it can get away with just fighting the big ones, which is what this guy did. Unfortunately, he only used HE. Ooh, it's part of why that Solomon didn't take that much damage. You really need to be using AP against those guys. yeah, same thing. Just trying to do a little too much with this. Too many different things, and none of it working out all that well. And then this guy, whose tug got blown up, presumably was one of the ones in the middle of the map. Like, just got destroyed while being a scout and ready to kill people with missiles. Strong showing from the ANS team. Not so great showing from the OSP team. I mean, they tried, but like not capping your natural point and then just pushing and brawling with fleets that way outgun and out armor you is not a great choice. So, lesson of the day: don't fight kids bigger than you are unless you have a whole lot of friends. I'll see you when I see ya. Good night.